Well, it is 2:31. Shall we go ahead and get started? Vicky, we knew your vote.
Yes, you are live. I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself because there's some background in the office, so but you are live.
All righty. Thanks, Annette. Katie, I guess we're gonna rely on you to call roll this morning or this afternoon.
Sure, yep. So Jennifer's on vacation, so I will also be taking minutes. So I might pause for a second to find out who made the first and second motion, so bear with me. We'll do roll call. Lois Foster.
Present.
Terry Freeling.
Here.
JB Hoyt.
Present.
Rod Krieger.
Here.
Greg Lammert. Is he here? Okay. Eric Lester.
Here.
James Schoeneman.
Here.
All right. Julia Smith.
Here.
Vicki Wagner.
Here.
And Les White is absent. Okay.
All right. You've all seen the minutes from our July 14th meeting. Are there any additions, corrections, or other comments on those minutes?
Mr. President, I make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
A motion
Support.
and a second from Lois, it sounded like.
Can you please state your name for the record?
Vicki
With the
Wagner
motion.
moved.
And then Lois,
Lois Foster.
support. Thank you. I think that's one of the requirements for the online meetings. So,
Along with a roll call vote.
all right, all those ready for roll. Lois Foster,
Yes.
Freeling,
Yes.
Hoyt,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Lammert. Not
Yes.
present. Oh, you're here. Yay. Okay. Lester,
Yes.
thank you. Schoeneman,
Yes.
Smith.
Abstain.
Oh, right. Wagner.
Aye.
Okay, all in favor. Thank you. Next is communications. We received a notice of master plan. Hager Township is updating their master plan, so that's nice that they'll be updating it while we're doing ours as well. And we also received a resignation from Jim Meister. He, I think he just said for personal reasons, he is choosing to step down from the planning commission. I also did talk with Les White, and he was not able to join us today. He had a doctor's appointment at 2, but he is doing well. He says he's taking one day at a time.
Good.
And it's just been, dealing with these changes and new dynamics. And he said he'll kind of hopefully connect with me later. And he is considering and evaluating what he can offer at this point because he doesn't have a computer. So doing online meetings is difficult, but I did tell him he could call in. He could still be, present and participating. So he is doing okay, taking one day at a time. And Louise is also doing well, good spirits, and they're just keeping it on the down low, as they say. So
Well, thanks
that's
for
where we
that
are
update,
with.
Katie. I mean, it's certainly they're having a tough time, but it sounds like they're doing well under the circumstances. That's great to hear.
Yes.
Do we have any public with us today, Annette?
I would just say that Chris Fuchs from Benton Charter Township is also on the call with us due to the agenda item.
All right, well, Chris, we're glad you're here. I was guessing that's who you were. And we'll be getting to your business shortly. we did at our last meeting appoint a committee to talk about new commission member orientation. We've got a couple of relative newcomers on the commission today, and it sounds like with Jim Meister's resignation, we'll have another newcomer shortly. So Vicky and Eric were kind enough to serve in this capacity. Vicky sent a note out today that had much that on it. But Vicky, can you or Eric highlight your recommendations to the commission?
It's what everyone receives from Katie, the member directory, the bylaws, the calendar, 3 months of approved minutes, the master plan. And we also wanted to include the county commissioner operation objectives.
Here was the email. I hope your screen is showing that, or you're seeing at least the email that was sent in case somebody wasn't able to open it before today's meeting. So it pretty much highlights what you haven't received in the past is the conversation and the county commissioner operation objectives, which does change, every couple of years.
Right.
One of the, Vicky, when you and Eric and I spoke by phone, I think we also talked about the idea of offering a mentorship with an existing commission member for a period of time.
Yes. And so that would be however long you want the conversation between the new person and the president, or the new person and an appointed committee member. It might be, some people might only need 2 months. Some people might only need 1 meeting. Some people might need 6 months.
Great. Well, we certainly appreciate the thoughts of the two of you on this. I now understand your note more completely. Thank you. Any thoughts, comments, or further suggestions on this subject?
I think one of the most important things on that list is 3 months of approved planning commission meeting minutes to make sure that the person understands what the commission really does as opposed to what they theoretically think they are supposed to be doing. There's a real disconnect there, and they need to understand reality versus legal responsibility, I guess.
I will say that I think Jennifer in the past has put a year's worth of minutes. Yeah.
Better yet.
I would also add possibly at one point, there's in my files somewhere kind of an alphabet soup of acronyms that might be helpful, at least with a real fresh new person that's unfamiliar with a PUD or a land, special land use, SLUs, all of the jargon that we generally try to stay away from when we discuss, but in quick response and communication, sometimes that we become real familiar with what an R1 is or an R2, even though every community might have, for example, Benton Charter Township has A1 instead of R1, or, each municipality kind of uses their own autonomous way of describing land uses. So that is something that could also be added as a supplemental item. However, that might be overwhelming at first. So maybe that's something that's introduced, as the subjects come available.
And your mentor could also help with that.
Sure, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I like the idea of including it, Katie, because then that may be a discussion topic between the mentor and mentee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, going back, I think Jennifer's smart to add the 12 months of minutes.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Freeling. Could I also ask if we consider the ordinance that creates the planning commission for Berrien County. I think that might actually be looped into the bylaws, but there is an ordinance that also kind of creates us as a commission. And the only other thought that I found to be helpful when I was first appointed to this board was the actual enabling act from the state. And that language, just so to the point, I think it was Rod, maybe I'm wrong, that gives us the parameters and the framework of what work we do as a commission. Those would be my only other two suggestions.
I think that the bylaws make reference to those, and it depends how much paper you want to print out, because you can click online on those. But it's a,
Sure.
it's
Thank you, Vic.
for the committee wants.
I think Katie sent out the enabling legislation after the last meeting. And it's worth a look, at least particularly in the preamble, where they talk about a relatively broad range of topics that the Planning Commission, at least theoretically, might look into. This is Eric Lester. I wanted to make a comment, particularly to thank Katie and Jennifer for the amount of material they've put into the notebooks in the past. I got out my notebook from 2016 when I first came on the commission, and it's most of what we wanted is sitting right there, and not really adequately digested by me. But it did lead me to ask the question, particularly after what I think were comments just now by Rod, are we all happy with the way the commission looks at the universe, with the way we ourselves define our own purpose as we see it? Is the status quo what we are here to support, or are we interested in considering the possibility of change?
That's pretty deep, Eric.
Sorry?
I think we're going to have change whether we like it or not with this coronavirus creating a new world for us. And I think the basics that we already have are pretty good. And with the evaluations that we are doing, I don't know, Katie, if they're completed yet. Everyone has sent theirs in on various subjects that we're very concerned with. I think we've pretty much have what we need written. We just are going to have to adjust. And I know it's difficult when you come on the commission and you're new and you wonder what's going on. I think we have the groundwork laid. We just had to uncover it. And I thank Dr. Lester for saying it the way he did. It's very good.
Hi, folks. This is JB. I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you, JB.
All right. I apologize. With the weather yesterday, we've had some up and down internet problems today, and apparently it just went down again. So I apologize for stepping out. Sounds like you guys are still in discussion. Is there further discussion of this topic? Hearing none, should we formally adopt this? So what, Katie, what's protocol on this? Should we formally adopt it or just take it as a standard operating procedure?
I would go if it's part of the standard operating procedures that's been in place. We'll just incorporate the materials that's been suggested.
All right, that works for me if the group is comfortable with that. I think this is a great effort, and it sounds like with Jim's resignation, we'll have to we'll put this in place shortly. And I would offer to any of you who are relative newcomers to the commission, if you would like to have a mentor, please let me know, and either now or privately, we'll make that happen. Okay. Shall we move on to new business then?
Okay, I'm going to share I'm going to share my screen, and it is the PowerPoint. I tried to keep it short and simple. Are we all seeing that?
Yes.
Yes.
Good, thank you. So we have Benton Charter Township. It is a rezoning request. The applicant is Don Detman, representing DKL&T LLC. As you know, prior to this meeting, Dan Fetty sent a message disclosing that his wife is a former partner with Don and has ownership interest in the property next door, or part of the partnership. And so he was disclosing that and recusing himself from any discussion or participation of this meeting. So I'm just disclosing that to you all. And this property is in an area that has been seeing a lot of activity for the township in the last couple months. It is located on Enterprise Way. And I would say that really any rezoning or significant changes that have happened in the township in the last 5 years have been in this corridor, in this area. The property was rezoned in 2007 from single family to D2 professional office, commercial, or professional office. And there was also, I think at that time, a conditional zoning layer of ensuring that the property have a residential feel to it, or that it actually looks like a house that this professional office business is located. And based off of the township's updated or newest master plan, this property is located in the Lakeview community area, which is incorporating a mix of housing types from single family to medium density development, and then ensuring that there's connectivity to the lakefront and also the businesses surrounding that area. Their Township Planning Commission had their public hearing yesterday, and they recommended approval for this rezoning. So this next slide is kind of showing you activity right here in this very corner on M63 and Enterprise Way. Several years ago, there was a proposed redevelopment for a gas station, I think, Primar, and that's noted in the minutes from the Planning Commission's minutes. And there was a lot of concern by the residents in this area as to the traffic and change in the character of the neighborhood. So this property is still zoned D2, correct, or D, commercial?
It is D2.
Oh, okay, it's D2 commercial. The request to us was to change it so they could make it more of a commercial use. So this area along Enterprise, as you turn off of M63, is D2 office commercial. Next door to this is Benton Charter Fire Station, the township's fire station. And then this is the office that's currently owned by Detman that has been for sale. It's semi-vacant, I think. It's still operating an office space, but it has been for sale. And this property next to it is also what's owned by the same company, Detman, DKL&T. This is 1.9 acres. These two properties north of here are also in an A2 zoning. And then this property, this large parcel, was rezoned back in December. And that was rezoned to multifamily. So there is some mixed use. It is what's happening, but across the street is all residential and over here. This next slide is just showing you the Lakeview character design from the township's master plan. And this area that is of review right now is right over here, where my arrow is. Do you see my arrow?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So as you can
So
see,
Katie, can I say,
oh, please go for it.
if you go back one to the view of the, so what's shown as rezoned for multifamily, the east half of that parcel was rezoned C multifamily, and the rest of that parcel retained the D2 commercial that was redone in 2007. So
Okay,
only half of that parcel was rezoned.
sorry.
It was
Yeah,
not, it was an odd rezoning, but it was specifically for a site plan.
yes. And
Katie?
actually the planning commission did have that site plan back in December.
I have a quick question. This is Vicky. You know, this office looks like a house. Is this going to stay commercial or revert back to a family dwelling?
So it is for sale as an office. That is what that overlay district did, is it made everything in that corridor appear as a house with a strict landscaping standard. The standard is 27 pages long, the overlay for that area. So the office there that's shown, Don Detman's office, appears like a house, but that's part of the overlay district, as well as the area north of that that retains the D2 use.
Okay, thank you.
So again, here's more of an up close view of the parcel question. And the proposed, this is, I think there is an offer on this property, and the proposed use is to build a single family, 3-bedroom, 3-bath home.
Okay, Chris, do you have any other comments you wanted to make on this, this request before we enter into discussion?
No, I do not. I'm happy to answer questions, but
Great.
Chris, this is Jim Schuman. In your public comments yesterday in the public meeting, was there any comments from some of the residents there in the enterprise zone that have single family units now?
no public was present to make comment, and that's unusual for this corridor.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
that's,
Chris, would that be a spot? We've got D2 with the office and the fire station and the proposed gas station site. And what do we have north of that parcel?
So I'd be happy to, if you give me just a moment here, I'd be happy to pull up the screen. I'm sorry, I can't get there. I'm trying to, give me half a second here.
Oh, let me get out of my screen and maybe you can share yours?
Okay.
And I think we can only have one
Okay.
person sharing a screen at the same time.
So I got off.
Okay.
All right, and if you give me just a moment here, I
yeah,
will pull up the zoning map for that area.
My real question is that going to be the only one that's going to be rezoned for single family house?
No,
So, all right, so let me share.
I think the lot north of this parcel is also single family but the house is on the M63 frontage.
So I'm showing you the screen. That's the zoning map of the area. And if you can see my pointer, this is the parcel. This is not, does not show the D2 overlay, but most of that area is A2 single family. The yellow is A2.
This is Vicky. Rather than just saying most of that area, you see that thin narrow strip along the top of the proposal? What are those? Are those residential or commercial? That's our
It's residential, that's a trailer park.
Okay, if I drive along, if I pull off 63 and drive along Enterprise Way, the first parcel I come to is the gas station site. Second one is the
Fire station.
the fire station. There's a little strip, then there's Don's office. Then there's the parcel in question. Then as I drive along, everything on my left is D2 commercial.
So I am so sorry, I don't have the pictures that I took yesterday. I have them on my phone, but there is no gas station at the corner. The gas,
Well, no, I
That's
know
not the
that.
question. This is
I
Vicky.
know that. I know, but what I'm saying is, as I drive along there, is the one we're that's going to be rezoned, the only one that's going to be for residential construction?
so no.
Or can I
No.
build anywhere along there to the north?
The development that's going into the north is what was rezoned last fall, are going to be 10 4-family homes.
Okay, how about
That's
the two?
residential.
Okay,
Everything in the corridor, when you turn off of 63, these 4 parcels are all new homes.
okay,
If you go to the Woodridge subdivision, all you see is residences. The only structure there that's commercial in nature is our fire station. Don Detman's old office looks like a house.
okay, and everything north of our parcel in question is residential.
It-
North, as you go along,
Enterprise.
Enterprise Way, east, is residential.
Correct.
Okay,
That's
All
all we
right.
want to know. Is this all residential? This is Vicky. From where the proposal is, all the rest of it is residential?
As you drive that corridor, it is residential.
okay,
That's all we need. That's what we need. Okay.
that's what I want to know. Okay, thank you.
Chris, this is Greg Lambert. I've got a question on that. You mentioned the gas station. It's still zoned for a gas station on the corner.
No,
It is not.
No,
It is
I
not.
yeah,
it's zoned for office commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it is.
Okay.
I
So
know
the
it
gas
is.
station has been.
I was just using it as a reference, saying that this was an active redevelopment area within the township, because the only actions and activities that we have seen from the township predominantly have been along this area of recent.
Okay.
So I was only using it as a reference to say, hey, we're back in this neighborhood again. If you haven't recognized it before, here it is again.
Yeah, I know it's
Okay.
not a gas station. I'm just using that as a reference.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah.
But
All right, I'll move to agree with the Township Planning Commission.
This is Greg. I will second that motion.
Okay. Ready for roll. Foster,
Yes.
Freeling,
Yes.
Hoyt,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes,
Lambert,
Yes.
Lester,
Yes,
Meister not present, Schooneman,
yes,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Wagner.
Aye.
Okay, all in favor? Motion approved, passed.
Alrighty, thank you all. And Chris,
Very
thank you
kind.
for attending. You're certainly you're welcome to
Thank
stick
you so
around. You're
much.
certainly welcome to leave.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris, I'll send you a letter shortly.
all right, good deal. Thank you so much.
Yeah, is your board meeting tonight?
Tomorrow night, it's the 18th,
Oh, okay,
next Tuesday.
thank you.
thanks, Chris.
All right,
Thank you, Chris.
see you later.
All right, if really the balance of our agenda is dedicated to the master plan update. I want to thank each of you for your participation in calls with Katie to discuss our individual points of view. And certainly thank Katie for all the time she's put into this and will continue to put into it. So Katie, the floor is yours for wherever you need to lead us.
Okay, so I started the calls, the one-on-one conference calls with us to go over. I have a set kind of list of questions, but then also an opportunity for you to discuss or kind of give me your thoughts. And I have most of those scheduled. There's a few I'm still connecting with to find some time. So if you think about it, maybe shoot me an email after this meeting. And then what I've been doing over this last month is kind of reviewing and finding a way to summarize your feedback from the questions and the initial worksheets that we sent out. I have a couple different, I have put them in different ways, and I haven't been satisfied with a quick, easy summary that kind of represents everybody's opinions and thoughts. So I was doing some presentation formats, and then I just decided I'm not going to even let you see them from a graphic perspective. So most of the responses that you all submitted, which thank you for taking the time. I know that was probably something that you hadn't really put your thoughts together in a format that way. So I really did appreciate your time and effort into responding to the worksheets. And for most of the comments, it was continue to include this, expand a little bit here and there, add a couple other items. Particularly some new topics was expand the wine industry, increase or include solar as part of some of the ag and technical new products and markets. A lot of emphasis on coordination, particularly with economic development. Some things were questionable if, aren't we already kind of doing this, or can we, is this really our role or responsibility? And also questioning, do we have enough resources to provide and support that, which are all good comments and thoughts to consider as we move forward and create some new plans and options. So lastly, I have started analyzing all of the master plans within the municipalities, so all the township and cities, to kind of create those common themes, which is generally what we already have existing in our plan, but being able to also put that in a one-page connecting what are priorities for each of the various areas, where everyone is unique, and we want to celebrate that, and also recognize that there, we have common themes, and there are some places that we can move.
Okay, and I sent for two and only got one.
So again, what I'll do is what I will continue doing. Sorry. I also have an eye on my so I'm distracted. So what I will plan on doing is provide summaries of the comments that we have through each of the individual discussions. I'll put that in a format and send that to you. And then I can also send you I'll summarize those collectively with the worksheets too. So I'll put that in. I have it in just my own little notes format, but I thought maybe there was a more graphic way to present that. And when I played with it, it wasn't doing what its intent, effectiveness. So, but I do plan to have, at least for the analysis of all the master plans, is to have that kind of, hopefully in some form or fashion, to be able to just include in the master plan. itself. There have been some work that's been done on agriculture through the, I'm drawing a blank on the agency, but the Farmland Trust has released a study. It's farmlands that are under threat, and it's recognizing what policies and what programs that every state is offering in relations to agriculture protection and preservation, and ranking all of the states as like who's doing the best as an example for best practices, and who needs to kind of step up to the table, in particular with farmland preservation. And then what they've also done was they did quite an extensive study with GIS, and I've been able to get access to that GIS, but I am working with our GIS department to be able to get that data so that we can also map out how we look here in Berrien County, because it's specific to Michigan. So overall, in the national study, Michigan is ranked kind of right in the middle. We're not failing, so to speak, but we're not in the top echelon of advancement in doing farmland preservation, or protecting our most valuable properties for agriculture. So that study is available. I may have sent that to you all, but if not, I apologize, and I can certainly send you the link to access the website, and you can also go and you can tool around. It's very interactive. You can click on a state and it'll show you what their ranking is and what's at most risk for them. So it's pretty involved, and they spend a lot of time and resources in doing this, and so it's something that is intended to be able to share with our share and use. So I think that's pretty exciting. There's also been some work through the Strategic Leadership Council on their housing assessments and they're really in the phase of data mining a lot of resources and information. So they're in probably like the first phase of that summarizing of the findings from the data that they have collected. And so I think that'll also be very instrumental with what we put as policies and information and updates to our master plan under the housing section. And that's pretty much where I'm at with the update. So if I haven't confirmed your one-on-one, or if it hasn't been completed. If it has been completed, thank you. And if not, then just let me know. And if your comments have already been provided through the worksheets, that's sufficient too.
Okay, so the key point is if you've communicated with Katie, thank you. If you have not, please do so. Your input is really key here. Kate, is there anything else that you're seeking from the commission for the next few weeks?
No, not at the moment.
Great. Any questions or comments on what Katie's talked about today? All right, hearing none.
Sounds like you've been working pretty hard, Katie. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of an academic exercise, and so I've been having fun, but then I run into some of my own challenges when it comes to reporting it back out. I have lots of ideas going on, but my technology is not the greatest lately. It's tricky.
Okay, anything else for the good of the order this afternoon? Hearing none, I apologize again for losing my internet service here. We'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
This is Greg. I'll move for adjournment.
And Eric,
Okay, do I have to actually do a roll for this?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Foster,
Lois, do you say yes?
Yes.
thank you. Freeling,
Yes.
Hoyt,
Yes.
Krieger,
Rod, you're muted.
He's muted, Katie, but he shook his head yes.
okay, thank you. Lester, or
yes,
Lammert? I got you, Lester Lammert,
Yes.
thank you. Meister, oh, he's not here. Schooneman,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Wagner,
Hi.
okay. We are adjourned. Have a great Tuesday.
Great.
Thank you,
Thank you all.
Katie.
Thank
Thank you,
Thank
Katie.
you, everyone.
Yep, be safe, everyone.
See you all again next month.
Okay.